What makes Lifetime Television the first channel choice among...
Hi there, everyone. I'm Frank Atkinson, and welcome to Rosenblatt Stadium for tonight's game between the Omaha Royals and the Denver Zephyrs. An important game in a three-game series, and both teams have to be feeling pretty happy about things after yesterday's doubleheader. The Royals come into the game trailing by 2.5 games in the standings. Both teams didn't want a situation where they were going to get swept, and the Royals ended up winning the first game 8-2. Denver won the second game yesterday 2-1, so they maintain their 2.5 game lead over Omaha in the standings. And what that means is it's a 2-game swing in the standings tonight, as the Omaha Royals will try to pull to within 1.5 games of the Zephyrs. If they lose, they'll fall to 3.5 games back in the standings. The Omaha Royals will send right-hander Bill Lasky to the mound. Last time Cox Cable was out here to televise here at Rosenblatt Stadium, we saw Bill Lasky, and he draws the assignment again for the Omaha Royals. For the Denver Zephyrs, we will see Randy Veras. And don't forget, there are still a lot of remaining games between the Royals and the Zephyrs, because they'll come back to start the next homestand at Rosenblatt Stadium on August the 9th. So a lot of games in a short span of time between these two teams as they battle it out in the Western Division of the American Association. Don't forget, one more game on this homestand between the Omaha Royals. It's the Iowa Cubs in town for a 6:05 game tomorrow, and that one will be Shopko night, with free tickets available at Shopko locations in Omaha and Bellevue. And also, the Royals will be out signing autographs at the Shopko locations from 11 until noon tomorrow. But let's take a look at the game at hand between the Omaha Royals and the Denver Zephyrs, and take a look at the starting lineups now. Starting lineups will be coming up in just a second. For the Omaha Royals, they'll have Bill Lasky on the mound. Lasky was starting the last time that we televised here at Rosenblatt Stadium, 4-4 with a 2.99 ERA. Randy Veras, with a 3-5 record for the Denver Zephyrs, has a 3.88 earned run average. The Royals are 5 games under the 500 mark at 52-57. The Zephyrs 55-55. 2.5 games up on the Royals. Let's go to the starting lineups now. The Zephyrs have Darrell Hamilton leading off and playing center field. Tack Wilson bats second. Wilson is playing left field. The designated hitter is Greg Vaughn. Vaughn will bat third. Joe Mitchell is the catcher. Mitchell played some third base yesterday. George Canale is at first base, and he bats fifth. Matias Carrillo, the right fielder, is batting sixth. Donnie Scott is in the number 7 position and playing third base. Joe Xavier, the shortstop, bats eighth. And Billy Bates will bat ninth and play second base for the Zephyrs, with Randy Veras, their starting pitcher. Now let's go along to the Omaha batting order. Nick Capro will lead off and play center field. Mike Mesh is at second base, batting second. The shortstop is Kelly Paris, batting third. Nick Castaneda is the designated hitter, and Castaneda will bat in the cleanup position. Tommy Dunbar is in left field. He's one of the newest Omaha Royals. Dunbar batting fifth. Dodd, the first baseman, will bat sixth. Chuck Jackson is playing third base and batting in the number 7 position, with Jeff Schultz in right field. And then Kevin Burrell handling the catching chores for the Royals. So there you look at the batting order as the lineup cards are being exchanged at home plate. That's Tom Poquette for the Omaha Royals bringing the lineup card up. And Dave McAmer is the manager of the Zephyrs, representing the Zephyrs as they go over the exchange. The plate umpire is Kevin O'Connor. Chuck Merriweather and Tim Pritchard are on the bases as the Omaha Royals now take the field. The Royals won Game 1 yesterday, 8-2. In the second game of the doubleheader, the Zephyrs won it by a score of 2-1, so this becomes the rubber game of the series, and the Royals have a 2-game situation in the balance. If they win, they will pull to within 1.5, and if they lose, they will fall to 3.5 games off the pace. The season ends 5 weeks from today, so a lot can still happen, but this game's certainly one of the important ones as far as the Royals are concerned. Time now for our national anthem. Take a look at the Omaha Royals defensively now. Tom Dodd is playing first base. The second baseman is Mike Mesh. Kelly Paris is at shortstop, and the third baseman is another one of the newer Royals, Chuck Jackson. The outfield from left to right, Tommy Dunbar is in left, Nick Capra in center field, and the right fielder is Jeff Schultz. Behind the plate is Kevin Burrell. And there's a look at Bill Lasky. A reminder that we are simulcasting tonight on KKAR and on Cox Cable, Channel 7. Lasky's last outing was a 6-inning performance against the Indianapolis Indians. He ended up giving up 6 hits in his 6 innings. However, 4 base runners that got as far as second base were stranded. Lasky ended up working 6 innings of the shutout. Jerry Don Gleaton the 7th and 8th, and then Rick Lucan worked the 9th inning. The Royals came away with a 2-0 victory. The Zephyrs will have Darrell Hamilton, Tack Wilson, and Greg Vaughn coming up in the top half of the first inning. It is 89 degrees, a slight breeze blowing out toward left field, and as our crew can attest, the ones that are outdoors anyway, it's on the muggy side. Darrell Hamilton spent some time with the Milwaukee Brewers. In fact, in case you're not familiar with the Denver Zephyrs, they are the AAA team for the Brewers. Hamilton is a left-handed batter hitting .282, 2 home runs, and 31 runs batted in. At 7:08, you can see that there are shadows creeping across home plate, which will make it a little bit difficult there for the batters to see the ball coming from the mound. Lasky delivers a breaking ball for a strike. Here's the 0-1 pitch now. Hamilton fouls it straight back to the screen, and it's 0-2. Hamilton in the doubleheader yesterday was 1 for 6. He has pretty decent speed if he gets on the bases. Here's a look at Bill Lasky, 6'6". Goes into the line, and the pitch on the way. Swung on and missed, and he takes care of Hamilton on 3 pitches. Lasky starts things off with a strikeout, and that brings up Tack Wilson. Wilson is hitting .239 overall, but he's hitting .333 with the Zephyrs. Wilson was involved in a trade that brought him from Oklahoma City to the Denver organization. and he's done very well for the Zephyrs playing left field. Lavelle Freeman went over to Oklahoma City as part of that deal. Wilson backs out for a moment, and he wants the rosin bag moved on the mound. He thought that it might be distracting him. Lasky starts off with a strikeout on Hamilton, now ready to face Tack Wilson. Braxton delivers, and he bangs the first one deep into the hole. Backhanded by Paris, fires over to Dodd in time for the out. Paris had to get rid of that quickly and did a good job, beating Tack Wilson at first base. That'll bring up the DH, Greg Vaughn. Vaughn has been DHing the last 5 games. Basically, he's the left fielder. Vaughn is the league leader in many departments, 97 games and a .279 average, 24 home runs. Number 24 came off of Steve Feyerabend last night. 84 runs batted in. The 84 RBIs are tops in the league. First pitch is over for a strike, 0-1 the count. Lasky pitched against the Zephyrs back in June. He ended up winning a rain-shortened game there. The 0-1 pitch is inside, and it pops out of Burrell's mitt, 1-1. In that game that Lasky pitched at Mile High Stadium on the 2nd of June, he worked 7 innings, allowed 5 hits and 3 runs. He left the game in the 8th inning with Omaha winning 6-1. They ended up winning that game 7-5. 2 outs, bases empty. We're just underway from Rosenblatt Stadium. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's pulled down the left field line, foul over toward the Omaha bullpen. One ball, 2 strikes. The pitch. Vaughn drills it toward left field. Dunbar comes up to make the catch. He was fooled on it for a moment, and then came in a couple of steps, and the ball seemed to follow him. Tommy Dunbar makes the grab. Nothing across against Bill Lasky in the top half of the first inning. After half an inning, it's the Zephyrs nothing, and the Royals coming up to face Randy Ferris for the first time. Omaha Royals mascot that you're looking at there. He calls himself Loyal B. Royal. He kind of looks like. Going to the bottom half of the first inning. We'll let you fill things in there. On our simulcast, we're watching the newest Omaha Royal mascot. A succession of them that we've had here at Rosenblatt Stadium. The Omaha Royals will have Nick Capra, Mike Mesh, and Kelly Ferris coming up in the bottom of the first. Randy Ferris is on the mound for the Zephyrs. Well, what can we tell you about Ferris? He is 3-5. His ERA is 3.88. Ferris makes his home in Rancho Cordova, California. I'm from California, and I can't tell you where Rancho Cordova is. He was born in Sacramento, and he's 23 years old. He'll turn 24 on the 25th of November. He was with El Paso last year, where he was 3-2 with a 3.66 ERA, and then moved to Stockton at Class A ball in the California League and was 8-4 there. He's been used primarily as a starter. Randolph Ruland Ferris. And he'll face Nick Capra. Capra is batting .280, 2 home runs and 31 runs batted in. Capra has hit in 4 of his last 5 games, and once he gets on base, he has caused problems for opposing pitchers. He has stolen 10 bases in the month of July. That's 10 out of his total of 24 for the season. The Zephyrs defensively have George Canali at first, Billy Bates at second, Joe Xavier at short, and the third baseman is Joe Mitchell. The outfield has Tack Wilson, Darrell Hamilton, and Matias Carrillo. Capra used to play in Denver. Here's the pitch on the way to him. Inside, ball one. The Zephyrs with the traveling gray jerseys and green caps. No one else has got a green combination for a color pattern in the AAA Alliance. It's a green and blue combination. You can't really tell from their visitor's jersey, but you can see blue shoes. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Capra. Up high. Capra leads the Royals in base hits with 106. At one point, he was on base in 40 of 44 games. The right-hander Veras winds, and here's the pitch. That's inside. 3-0. In the first game of the doubleheader yesterday, Odell Jones was the starting pitcher. He had some control problems in the first inning. The Royals ended up loading the bases and then stranding them. 3-0 pitch. Capra probably will be taking. He is, and it's a strike. Capra's a contact hitter, wants to get on base any way he can, so if Veras is going to give it to him, he'll just hold up. Here's the 3-1 offering now. In for a strike. Full count now to Nick Capra. Capra played in Denver in 1982 and hit .281 then. Payoff pitch. Capra lines it into the left center field alley. There's nobody there. Hamilton will have to chase it down. Capra is on his way to second, and he's going to put on the brakes there. Hold on with a double. Capra starts things off with a double into the left center field alley, the first base hit of the game. And Capra does it again. On our television side, we'll look at it again, and that's a perfect spot to split the defense, right between Hamilton and the left fielder Wilson. That's how he put the brakes on. Kind of like a cartoon character. Just needed the sound effects to go along with it. Mike Mesh is a hot hitter at the plate. Veras delivers the Mesh. Low, ball one. If the Royals end up winning this one, they can say, hey, we're back in the race. We're 1.5 out on our home field. We were able to take 2 out of 3 from them. But if they lose this one, they know that they actually lost ground to the Zephyrs when they had a chance to play them head-to-head, what they were looking forward to. Mesh is around the bunt and takes high. In the second game of the doubleheader yesterday, the Zephyrs had a definite advantage with Jeff Petrick going. He leads the staff in complete games, and the game was scheduled for only 7 innings. The Royals have to feel confident if they can get into the Zephyr bullpen. The Zephyrs are last in the American Association in team pitching, the only team with an ERA over 4. Mesh takes a strike on the inside part of the plate, and it's 2-1. Actually, Oklahoma City has reached 4.00 even. And Denver is at 4.14. The Omaha Royals are half a run ahead at 3.51 for their team ERA. Capra's at second with nobody out. The count is 2-1 on Mike Mesh. And the pitch, inside and low, 3-1. We mentioned Mesh is a hot hitter. He had a 4-game hitting streak stopped yesterday. That was in the... Or he has a 4-game hitting streak going now. The pitch to Mesh, foul down the right field line. That one will carry beyond the Zephyr bullpen. Should be packed here tomorrow on Shopko night. So we invite you to come by early, and it's always a popular night. All kinds of appliance giveaways, and the tickets are being given away at Shopko locations. with the Royals on hand for an autograph session tomorrow from 11 until noon. There goes Capra to third. The pitch is low. The throw is way late. Capra with his 11th stolen base of the month and number 25 of the season. It came on ball 4 to Mike Mesh. The Royals have runners at first and third with nobody out. You don't think this is an important game? Dave McAmer is on his way to the mound already, the manager of the Zephyrs. And he is airing out Randy Veras, reminding him, hey, there's a runner on second base. See? Nick Capra is now at third because you forgot to pay attention to him. McAmer made a pitching change as early as the 5th inning, bringing in his stopper out of the bullpen, Jay Aldrich, yesterday. So he's doing whatever he can to verbally get Randy Veras into the game. On the stolen base for Nick Capra, it's his 25th of the season, and we have a winner in our Hardee's Steal a Meal deal. And the winner is Jim Brannon of Bellevue. Every Omaha Royal stolen base and Rosenblatt, we draw a name. And Jim's our latest winner in the Steal a Meal deal from Hardee's. Kelly Paris is the batter. Paris is also a newcomer. The Royals picked him up from Vancouver, where he was playing in the Pacific Coast League. The pitch to Paris is high, ball 1. Paris has filled in admirably, playing first, third, short, and also serving as a DH. Hitting .205, 2 home runs, and 11 RBIs. A throw over to first base, and Mesh gets back. Mesh stole a base the other day, so he's a threat to go as well. Kelly Paris, you might remember him in the big leagues, was with the Cardinals and with the Reds and with the Orioles. And then was 14 games with the White Sox last year. The pitch bounces in front of the plate. 2-0 the count, and Veras is all over the plate. The Zephyrs leave here after, well, it'll be tomorrow morning that they leave. And they'll be going to Indianapolis. They've got to play a doubleheader on Sunday. The Royals have a home game tomorrow and then leave for a road game at Des Moines Sunday, and then they're on their way to Syracuse for a doubleheader Monday. So a lot of work remains. The season ends 5 weeks from tonight. And 2.5 games are all that separate the Royals and the Zephyrs. Here's the pitch to Paris. Bouncer over the mound, might be 2. The shortstop on the bag, and Xavier throws to Canale to complete the double play, but Capra crosses the plate and scores, and the Royals have a 1-0 lead. Paris is not credited with an RBI since he grounded into a double play, but the fact that Capra was able to steal third base means the Royals do get a run. 2 outs, and Nick Castaneda is the batter. Castaneda is the DH, hitting .279, 7 home runs, 24 runs batted in. The pitch to Castaneda, in for a strike. One nothing Omaha. Base is empty now. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Well, 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the line from Veras and the 1-1 pitch. That's fouled into the catcher Joe Mitchell's mitt. 1-2. Castaneda hit a home run in the 6th inning of Game 2 yesterday. That tied things up at 1. But Matias Carrillo's home run gave the Zephyrs a 2-1 victory in the nightcap. One-two pitch. Fastball on the outside corner. Castaneda is caught looking. The Royals settle for the 1 run that scored on the double play. 1 hit, no one left after 1. It's the Royals 1 and the Zephyrs nothing. Okay, bye. Top of the second inning, Joe Mitchell starts it off for the Zephyrs. Here's the pitch on the way to Mitchell. That's outside and low, ball one. Mitchell platoons between catching and playing third base. This season, he has 30 errors. Most of them have come at third base. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's banged into left field between Paris and Jackson. That's the first hit off of Bill Lasky, and that brings up the left-handed hitting first baseman, George Canale. Canale, a .273 hitter with 11 home runs and 45 runs batted in. What we're looking at again on the TV side is the base hit that Mitchell just shot into left field. Now here's Canale. The pitch swung on, foul tipped, and held by Burrell for strike one. Lasky makes his home in Burlingame, California. That's a Bay Area suburb. Pitched for the Giants for 4 seasons. Pitched for Toledo last year. He was born in Toledo. The pitch swung on and missed. 0-2 the count to Canale. You can see the sock that the Zephyrs have. 11 home runs for Canale, and he ranks third on the team. They have hit 79 to Omaha's 48. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Canale is down on strikes. Lasky gets his second strikeout. That brings up the right fielder, Matias Carrillo. Carrillo had the home run that won it in the 7th inning of the second game yesterday. Carrillo has really come on out of nowhere. 9 home runs, 34 RBIs, and a .290 average. He takes outside, a throw to first, not in time on Mitchell. Carrillo in 1987 was playing A-ball with the Salem Buccaneers in the Carolina League, and he was not a regular player for them. He was playing winter ball in the Mexican League. Dave McAmer was managing a team, liked what he saw. The Brewer organization ended up getting him, and he's blossomed into a star in Denver. The pitch is fouled down the left field line. 1-1 the count. 1-0 Omaha. We're in the top half of the second inning. Tom Dodd is holding Joe Mitchell on. That's Nelson Rude, who is acting as the first base coach. Rude is an injured player who has a hyperextended knee. Mitchell is not a threat to go. The pitch is fouled off. Mitchell has stolen 5 this year, but he's been caught 3 times. Matias Carrillo at the plate with the count 1-2. Throw over to first base, just a lob throw, sending Mitchell back to the bag. The mound is in sunshine still. It'll be that way for a few more minutes. Lasky comes set. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball on the corner. 3 strikeouts for Bill Lasky. There was nothing Carrillo could do about it, except hope that that wasn't going to end up in the strike zone, and it did. A leadoff single for Mitchell. He's still at first base with 2 outs, and the batter is Donnie Scott. Scott is a switch hitter hitting .234. He takes outside. 1-0 the count. Lasky pitched for Omaha in the early 80s. Ended up going to the Giants organization and the Expos for a while. He's also been latched up with a couple of other teams. There's a comebacker with the runner going. Lasky makes the easy toss over to Tom Dodd, and he gets out of the inning. No harm done after a leadoff single. After 1.5, Omaha 1, and the Denver Zephyrs nothing.
to find out what's happening each month on cable in the way of hot new movies, including behind-the-scene looks at
some of the youngsters on hand here at Rosenblatt Stadium. Rosenblatt Stadium, bottom half of the second inning, Omaha Royals and the Denver Zephyrs, 1-0 Royals. Capra doubled, stole third, and scored as Paris grounded into a double play. In the bottom of the second inning, Tommy Dunbar, Tom Dodd, and Chuck Jackson. A lot of youngsters are on hand at Rosenblatt tonight, and we expect even more tomorrow on Shopko night. Tonight is Wallet Night, sponsored by First Federal of Lincoln. Some nice wallets were handed out. Some of them were stuffed with currency. Let's pause for station identification. You're listening to the 89 Omaha Royals. And you're viewing on Cox Cable Channel 7 as well in the Omaha area. Tommy Dunbar will start it off in the bottom of the second inning. Dunbar has been in 2 Omaha games. Both of them were last night. He is with his 4th team of the season. Here's the pitch on the way, and Dunbar fouls it off. Dunbar was hitting .303 through 35 games at Greenville, .213 through 27 games at Richmond, and .308 through 13 games at Tucson. The 0-1 pitch to Dunbar. He rolls it by the mound to the shortstop Xavier. Throws to Canale. Close play. In time to get Dunbar. I'll tell you one thing about Dunbar. When you're with 4 teams in 1 year, you better have not signed a long-term lease anywhere. Joe Xavier at shortstop makes the play on Dunbar. And the batter is Tom Dodd. We're looking at Xavier on the replay on our Cox Cable simulcast. Dodd is a hot hitter, leads the club with 10 homers, 48 RBIs, and he also leads the club in games played, hitting .246. Took the first one outside. Barris delivers. Low for ball 2, 2-0 the count. Tom Dodd had a 10-game hitting streak broken in the second game of the doubleheader. He has 10 RBIs on the homestand. Base is empty, 1 out. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Took a little off on it. Dodd came up empty, 2-1. Right-hander Randy Barris in a bit of a trouble in the first inning. Fires a strike down the middle, and it's 2-2 to Tom Dodd. The line, and here comes the 2-2 pitch. Dodd shoots it down the right field line. Foul. That's beyond the Zephyr bullpen. We'll see the Zephyrs back at Rosenblatt Stadium on Wednesday, August the 9th. They start the next homestand. And then we'll be going to Denver on the road trip after that. So a lot of work still to take place between the Royals and the Zephyrs. The 2-2 pitch. There's strike 3 called. Slider on the outside part of the plate. And Barris gets his second strikeout. He has set down 4 in a row since he walked Mike Mesh. And Chuck Jackson is the batter. Chuck Jackson is a player on loan. We still get questions, what does it mean when a player is on loan? We'll try to explain it for you. He is on loan from the Astros organization. The Astros felt that a change of scenery would be good for him. He takes low, ball 1. Jackson, while with the Tucson Toros, Was hitting .309 in 69 games, but he and the organization were not seeing eye to eye, so they have sent him to Omaha, where he can certainly help things out. Bouncer down to short, up with it Xavier, throws out Jackson, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Veras. So he has settled down after a shaky start after the first two batters in the first inning. He gets the side out in order. At the end of 2, it's the Royals 1 and the Zephyrs nothing.
Plug into the power of cable. America is cable ready.
Boy, does that look good? That's no fair watching someone eat an ice cream cone on a day like today. 89 degrees at game time at Rosenblatt Stadium. A 2-0 Royal lead. Going to the bottom half of the 4th inning. The Royals have 2 hits to the Zephyrs 3, but they do have the lead. They will send up Tom Dodd, Chuck Jackson, and Jeff Schultz in the bottom half of the 4th inning. You can be in with the in crowd here at Rosenblatt Stadium. One more game on this homestand tomorrow. It gets underway at 6:05. The Omaha Royals and the Iowa Cubs will wrap up this 12-game homestand. And the Royals hit the road. They will not return until the 9th of August. They will be facing on this road trip Iowa, Syracuse, Scranton, Rochester, and Buffalo. Tom Dodd will start things off in the bottom of the 4th inning against Randy Veras. We'll use some time here to check out what's going on around the major leagues and the AAA Alliance. There are 16 games scheduled for today in the major leagues with a lot of doubleheaders. Cleveland has already defeated Boston in game 1 of the doubleheader 3-2. Tom Candiotti, the winner for the Indians. Roger Clemens for Boston. Andy Allenson had a home run for Cleveland, his 2nd of the season. Boston and Cleveland 0-0 through 3.5. In game 2 of the doubleheader, that's Wes Gardner against Rod Nichols. Dodd is ready to go. So is Veras, and the pitch is inside. 1-0 the count. Doubleheader at Detroit's Tiger Stadium. The Tigers beat the Twins 6-4. Kevin Ritz beat Frank Viola. And the talks continue with Viola and the Mets. Mike Henneman saved it. Chet Lemon had a home run for the Tigers, his 5th of the season. 1-0 pitch. That's high. 2-0. At Yankee Stadium, Toronto leads New York 3-1. George Bell, home run number 10 for Toronto. Steve Balboni, number 12 for New York. Milwaukee leads Texas 3-0 after 1. Baltimore and KC scoreless after 1.5. Jeff Ballard against Martin Gubicza. 2 games on the West Coast. Chicago at California. Seattle at Oakland. Here's the 2-0 to Dodd. Low, ball 3, and Veras is struggling to start off the 4th inning, too. In the National League, this afternoon at Wrigley, Cubs over the Mets 6-5. Schiraldi beat Aguilera. Dwight Smith homered for the Cubs. Howard Johnson, number 26 for the Mets. And 37-5 at Wrigley. 3-0 pitch. There's a strike. 3-1. First game of the doubleheader at Philadelphia. Pittsburgh wins it 10-5. Neil Heaton beat Ken Howell. There were no home runs. Second game, no report yet. Now the 3-1 offering to Dodd. Bouncing ball, backhand. Well, he can't backhand. Mitchell tried to, went off of his glove, and it goes into left field. Dodd ends up with a double. Dodd starts off the 4th inning with a double, and they are after Veras again. On the TV side, we'll look at it again. That is Donnie Scott playing third base. I got it, no I don't. And Chuck Merriweather saying fair ball. By the time it's played in by Tack Wilson, Dodd's in there for 2. Here's Chuck Jackson, who is 0 for 10 now, looking for his first Omaha base hit still. He has been hitting ropes all over the ballpark. Doesn't have a hit to show for it yet. Takes inside with a fastball, ball 1. St. Louis and Montreal are scoreless in the bottom of the 6th. Atlanta won Cincinnati 0 through 5. Houston leads San Francisco 2-1 after 1. Dodgers at San Diego later on. The check on Dodd and the 1-0 pitch. Inside, 2-0. Oklahoma City, the last place team in the American Association's West, trails Pawtucket 4-0 through 7. Iowa's playing at home. They lead Scranton 1-0 after 1. I'll keep you updated on the scores. Here it's 2-0 Omaha in the bottom of the 4th. Jackson bounces it to the shortstop Xavier. Dodd will have to hold. The throw to Canelli is in time. The Royals have had problems getting base hits from players on loan. Jose Escobar, while he was on loan from Syracuse, hit .079. Jackson's off to a rough start. He was a hot hitter at Tucson. Started out the second half of the season in the 350s. Xavier threw him out. That's 1 out. Dodd had to hold, and here is Jeff Schultz trying to bring him in. Pitch to Schultz, in for a strike. Our camera crew got a shot of some clouds. They call Bill Lasky the rain man because every time he pitches it seems to rain, but so far it hasn't occurred. I'd like to keep it that way, at least for the time being. Schultz takes low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Dodd starts off the inning with a double. Jackson grounded out. Left-hand batter Jeff Schultz is at the plate. Schultz has been a fixture in Omaha since '86. The 1-1 pitch. Sprayed foul to the left. Schultz has scored the only Omaha run. Dodd at second base. The count is 1-2 on Schultz. Now Veras backs off the rubber. He gave up a run in the 3rd inning on a bases loaded walk. The Royals are still looking for the big hit. They have had several attempts where they've hit the ball hard, either right at someone. The 1-2 pitch. Line foul again. Schultz is a good contact hitter. He has struck out 33 times in 263 at bats. It's only about 12% of the time. Pickoff throw to second base. Dodd is back safely. Schultz, if nothing else, would like to at least go to the right side and get Dodd over to third base. The 1-2 pitch. He's taking it low. 2-2. The Royals have led since the 3rd batter of the game. Trying to open things up a little bit and gain a game on the Zephyrs, who are in first place and have a 2.5 game lead over Omaha. The stretch, the check on Dodd. Schultz strikes out. It's been frustrating for the Royals. Dodd leads off with a double. He's still stranded at second base with 2 outs, and the batter is Kevin Burrell now. Burrell flared a single to right in the 3rd inning, now batting in the 4th. Burrell's gone a while without a home run. There's one player you kind of get the feeling is due. It's Burrell. He takes a strike. 0-1 the count. The 2 home runs that he hit this year were only a week apart, back in May. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Burrell hit 9 of them last year for Memphis and hit 10 in 1985 when he was with Lynchburg in the Mets organization. Only 2 so far this year, and both have come on the road. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Outside, 2-1 the count. It's a little easier for the hitters to pick up the ball now. We don't have the sunshine-shadow contrast. Dodd still at second base, away to his lead. The pitch swung on and missed. 2-2. The Royals have had runners on base in every inning except the second. Denver has done the same except in the first, but they haven't gotten anyone past first base. Two pitch. That's bounced up the middle into center field. They're waving Dodd home. He scores. It is 3-0 Omaha. Burrell with the 2-out single. Burrell is 2 for 2, and that's his 20th RBI of the season. Burrell is 5 for 8 in the series now. That brings up Nick Capra. Capra doubled in the first inning. Struck out in the third. The pitch to Nick is outside. 1-0 the count. Barris has a pattern of falling behind on hitters. The Royals up the lead 1 more notch to 3-0. Pitch gets away from the catcher, Mitchell. Burrell advances to second base. We'll see how they score it. The count to Nick Capra. 2 outs, bottom of the 4th. Omaha now leading 3-0. The 2-0 pitch. Chopper over to Scott. He can't handle it. And the shortstop, Xavier, picks it up. That saves a run. Xavier handling it. Burrell to third. A smart play by Xavier. He was running after Burrell, thinking Burrell might round the bag. That'll be an error on the third baseman, Donnie Scott. And the batter is Mike Mesh. We understand that they have scored at a wild pitch now, on the one that allowed Burrell to advance to second base. A throw over to first base, and Capra is back, and the Royals are once again in a position where they can really break things open with runners at first and third now and 2 outs. Mike Mesh has been coming up with key hits recently. He takes a strike. 0-1 the count. That's Burrell at third base. Capra is the runner at first, Mesh at the plate. One run home in the inning. The inning has been prolonged by the error. Mesh waits, and the pitch is low. 1-1 the count. The Zephyrs are basically playing without a third baseman. Both Scott and Mitchell are, for the most part, catchers. Throw over to first. Capra was leaning and slides back to the bag. Capra is a threat to go. And then the Zephyrs have to make a decision. If he does take off, do they throw down? Another close throw over at first base. There's the possibility that if Mitchell throws down, Burrell will break for the plate. One and one to Mike Mesh. Mesh was asking for time, and the pitch was down the middle. You see him drop his bat at home plate in disgust. He had one hand off the bat. He was calling for timeout. Just because you call for it doesn't mean you get it. The plate umpire, Jeff Evans, has the prerogative and said no time. 1 ball and 2 strikes. There goes Capra. The pitch is outside. They throw down, and now they've got Capra in a rundown. Burrell goes halfway. They throw back to third base, and he's out at third. So the Royals did try the double steal, and it didn't work out. Burrell is out at third base. That closes out the inning. A run, 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 left. At the end of 4 complete now, it's the Royals 3 and the Zephyrs nothing.
You can exchange your present converter or pick up one at either of our front counter locations.
Together, Cox, Cable, and you.
Rosenblatt Stadium, we've got still a tight one, a 3-0 Omaha Royal lead. The Royals have had opportunities to get more, but haven't been able to take advantage of it. For the Omaha Royals, 3 runs on 4 hits, no errors. And for the Denver Zephyrs, no runs, 3 hits, and 2 errors. The Royals keep getting runners on base, a lot going on, and Bill Lasky has been just sailing along through 4 innings, but the Zephyrs are an explosive team. When you got home run hitters like Greg Vaughn, George Canale, anything can happen. We saw Vaughn hit a mammoth blast off of Steve Fireoven yesterday. So the Omaha Royals will keep pecking away, hoping to expand on their lead. And they hope that the pattern continues for Bill Lasky. We'll take a look at the 5th inning now. Matias Carrillo, Donnie Scott, and Joe Xavier. Carrillo was called out on strikes starting the top half of the 2nd inning. Lasky going into the 5th and starts it off with a strike. For Bill Lasky, he has now worked 11 consecutive scoreless innings. The 0-1 pitch. That's inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Twilight time at Rosenblatt Stadium. Lasky with the 1-1 pitch. Outside, and it's 2-1. Matias Carrillo, left-handed batter out of Guaymas, Mexico. Lasky's pitch is in for a strike, and it's 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch outside, and Lasky goes to a full count. Lasky has not walked the batter. He has struck out 4 Payoff pitch on the way to Carrillo. Fouled it to the left and out of play. Now Lasky will exchange the baseballs. Full count still. Once again, if you are a collector of autographs, the Royals will be out signing autographs from 11 until noon tomorrow at Shopko locations in Omaha and Bellevue. It's Shopko night tomorrow here at the stadium. Payoff pitch to Carrillo. Just outside, ball 4, and Lasky walks his first man. Let's pause here for station identification. You're viewing and listening to the 89 Omaha Royals. Donnie Scott is the batter. Scott is playing third base, although basically he is a catcher. The Royals did turn a double play earlier in the game. They look for one here, and Scott takes low, ball 1. The Royals have turned 99 of them this season. Here's the pitch on the way. In for a strike, and it's 1-1. Donnie Scott, a switch hitter, batting from the left side. Scott chops it foul over on the third base side, and it rolls over towards Sal Rende in the Omaha dugout. Carrillo will have to go back to first base. They have changed first base coaches. We saw Nelson Rude out there earlier. It's Mario Monaco who is coaching first now, and Monaco is also an injured Zephyr. Monaco has a hamstring pull that is keeping him out of action. There goes Carrillo. The pitch is high. The throw is high and late. Matias Carrillo with his 18th stolen base of the season, and he becomes the first Zephyr to get to second base. Lasky now with a 2-2 count on Donnie Scott. Delivers. Line by Lasky into center field. They're going to wave Carrillo in. He scores, and it's 3-1. Talk about explosive, just like that. A leadoff walk. Next thing you know, run is in. Scott atones for his error in the 4th inning. It's 3-1. And the batter is Joe Xavier. Xavier singled to center field in the 3rd inning. Nobody out in the top half of the 5th. The pitch to Xavier is in for a strike, 0-1. Kiki Diaz was the shortstop for the Zephyrs the last time we saw him. Diaz has been spending time at El Paso, the Double-A team in the Brewer organization. We're expecting Diaz to return to Denver sometime tomorrow. Lasky delivers low, 1-1. The Royals won't have to worry about Diaz, though, until the next time they see him. Another one of the Zephyrs that you may have heard of, Gary Sheffield, is not here. Sheffield broke a bone in his foot. He'll probably be lost for the season. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's a fair ball down the left field line between Jackson and the bag, and it's going to roll into the corner. Donnie Scott is being waved around third. Now he decides to hold up as Harris gets the relay in from Dunbar. It's a double for Joe Xavier, and the Zephyrs have runners at second and third with nobody out, and they're within 2 runs. That'll bring up the pesky Billy Bates. It also brings Rich Doobie out of the Omaha dugout, and he's on his way to the mound, where there will be a conference. There's Donnie Scott at third base, and manager Dave McAmur. The conference is on the mound. Rich Doobie calls in Kevin Burrell and Tom Dodd. And Doobie is there to offer some encouragement and also to give left-hander Ed Olwine some time in the Omaha bullpen. A look again at Xavier's double on our replay on Cox cable. An inside-out swing. Second and third, nobody out. The Zephyrs are threatening. The pitch to Bates almost hit him. 1-0 the count. It's been all Omaha up till here. Lasky has held the Zephyrs in check, but a leadoff walk put him into trouble. Scott with a line single up the middle, and Xavier with an opposite field double. There's Olwine getting loose in the Omaha bullpen. There's the 1-0 pitch. Bates grounds it right between Lasky's legs into center field. One run is in, and Xavier stops at third as Capra plays it in. Xavier slipped. It's 3-2, and there's still nobody out in the inning, and the fans are getting restless. That ball was hit hard, too. And here comes Sal Rende, and we're going to have a break in the action here at Rosenblatt Stadium. With nobody out and runners at first and second, and 2 runs home, our score, the Royals 3 and the Zephyrs 2. So Rende is going to go to Ed Olwine. The pitch to the left-handed hitting Darrell Hamilton. So Lasky was sailing along. He had yielded just 3 singles through 4 innings, and no one had gotten past first base. And then in the 5th inning, Carrillo walked, stole second. Donnie Scott singled him in. Xavier doubles Scott to third. And then Bates with a single scores Donnie Scott. The runners at first and second as Olwine comes in. Watch this one go right through Lasky's legs. Got the glove down, but a split second too late. Capra fires it in, hitting the cutoff man Jackson and holding Joe Xavier at third base. The line on Lasky, 4 innings of work. And he has yielded 6 hits. 3 consecutive in this inning, and the first walk of the game for him is what hurt him as Olwine takes over. There are some partial numbers on Olwine. Let's get you a few more. Olwine is making his 38th appearance of the season. He has 4 saves and 57 innings of work. Only 14 walks, 41 strikeouts. So he has been a great control artist. The 2 runners out there, Xavier at third and Bates at first, belong to Lasky, so we can't close the book on him yet. He's charged with at least 2 runs in 4 innings of work, and now the Royals have to consider missed opportunities earlier. Ed Olwine comes out of the Omaha bullpen. Olwine will face the left-handed hitting Darrell Hamilton. Appearance number 37 for Eddie O. (2-1), 3.00 ERA. This is the first time that his ERA has reached the 3 point. He was down in the 2.4s. Olwine's last outing was on the 26th of July. He went 2/3 of an inning and was charged with 2 runs. He came into a game where the Royals were leading 7-3 over Scranton and worked the 9th inning and couldn't get out of it. 2 runs in, runners at first and third, nobody out. The Royals will set the infield at double play depth. They'll give up the tying run for an opportunity to get 2 outs and try to avoid a big inning. The first 4 batters have reached. Hamilton is 0 for 2. The pitch on the way. There's a strike, 0-1 the count. Barris was on the rope several times for the Zephyrs, and here in the 5th inning it is Lasky, the first one to depart. Although he does leave with an Omaha lead, he cannot be the winning pitcher. Lasky did not go 5 innings. The strike 1 pitch to Darrell Hamilton. Checked his swing. That's going to be a tough play. Jackson will have to make the play at first in time for the out, but the tying run scores. Hamilton, with an excuse-me swing, picks up an RBI, and Xavier scores. Runners at first and second with 1 out, and it's now a 3-3 tie, so all of the Royal work up to now has been for naught. That run is charged to Lasky, and the batter is Tack Wilson. Wilson grounded out in the 1st inning and grounded to Tom Dodd in the 4th inning. Here's the pitch to Wilson. Bouncer, that's a foul ball. Dave McAmmer is pleading his case with the base umpire, Chuck Merriweather. We can see that again. Looked like that Merriweather made the proper call, but it was close. There was a bounce just before the bag, and then it kind of went over the bag, and the next bounce was beyond the bag. Now we don't have it. The Zephyrs have come back here in the 5th inning to tie things up. Bates is the runner at second base. Wilson awaiting. And he strokes it toward left field. Dunbar racing into the alley, can't get there. That's going to go for a base hit. Bates scores on the RBI single from Tack Wilson, and the Zephyrs now lead 4-3. That run is charged to Lasky, and he'll be charged with 4 runs in 4 innings of work. And now not only can he not be a winning pitcher, he could be charged with the loss. Greg Vaughn is the 7th batter of the inning. 4-3 Denver. Talk about a team that can turn things around in a hurry. Still only 1 out in the inning. Pitch on the way. Inside and low, ball 1. The Royals have stranded 4. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Vaughn pulls it behind McAmmer, foul. McAmmer had an ejection in a game last Saturday at Mile High Stadium in a game against Scranton. That was quite a story. He was ejected with his team trailing 3-1 in the 4th inning. And he was literally hopping 360s around the umpires while he was yelling at them. Vaughn bounces it into center field. That's another base hit. On his way to third, Wilson. He's in there with a slide. Still only 1 out in the inning. And the batter is Joe Mitchell. Jerry Don Gleaton and Luis Encarnacion worked in the bullpen yesterday. Might be a little thin today. There's Vaughn's single. To send a Wilson to third, 1st and 3rd with 1 out, and Joe Mitchell, the 8th batter of the inning, comes up. Anyway, to finish the story on McAmmer after the ejection, then he drop kicked his cap left, and the Zephyrs scored 17 runs to win it 20-3. Six of 7 have reached in the inning. The Royals are in danger of losing sight of this one after 4 runs have scored. Mitchell is 2 for 2, and he swings, comes up empty, 0-1. The Zephyrs have suddenly out-hit Omaha, now 8-4. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Softly hit over to Paris at short. His only play is to first in time, and that brings another run home. Wasn't hit hard enough to even try for a double play. And an RBI ground out for Mitchell scores Tack Wilson. The 9th batter of the inning is George Canale. This is the 19th time this season that the opposition has batted around against Omaha. That run is charged to Olwine. It's 5-3 Denver now. Olwine delivers. Swing and a miss to Canale. A 5-run inning for the Zephyrs. They have Vaughn at second base. Olwine's pitch. Strike 2 call. Here's the stretch and the 0-2 pitch. Way outside. Morrell saved that one from going to South Omaha. Denver has turned it around on the Royals here in the 5th inning. They have chased Lasky. Olwine with the 1-2 pitch with the runner going. That's slapped into right field. Another hit, and Vaughn's going to score easily on Canale's single. (6-3) Denver. The 10th batter of the inning is Matias Carrillo, and he started it all with a walk. Four runs charged to Lasky. 2 to Olwine. Here's the pitch to Carrillo. That swung on and got a piece of the plate umpire, Jeff Evans. The count to Matias Carrillo, the 10th batter of the inning. Canale at first base, and Olwine delivers. Going away, 1 ball and 1 strike. Dodd is holding Canale aboard. Pitch to Carrillo is over, 1-2. Got to be a bit demoralizing for the Royals. And the opportunities, and they just can't get the big inning. The Zephyrs have put it all together here in the 5th, scoring 6 times. The 1-2 pitch. That's off the plate. Olwine was on his way to the dugout, and now the fans are booing Jeff Evans, the plate umpire.
Canale at first base. Dodd holds him on. Zephyr bullpen in the background, just relaxing. Now they're the ones with the 3-run lead. The pitch is rolled. That's up the middle. Another base hit for Carrillo. Canale keeps right on going to third base. And there are runners at the corners. 10 hits now for the Zephyrs. Off of Ed Olwine, they have 4 hits. And reluctantly, they have to get the bullpen going for the Royals to keep this one from getting out of hand. And Ken Stratke will start to throw. They were hoping that Olwine could at least finish the inning off. He's still trying to. Donnie Scott is the batter. Scott had to go back to the first base coach and get his batting gloves back. First base coach was still holding them. Mario Monaco there. Scott is batting for the second time in the inning. The pitch to Scott. That's a rope to deep left field. Dunbar has to play it off the wall. In comes Canale. Carrillo to third. Scott into second with a double. He's got 2 RBIs in the inning on a single and a double. And the Bluebirds are out now. It's now 7-3. Burrell goes to the mound. Stratke just started to throw. So he's not ready. Trying to stall for some time, and now Doobie will try to do the same thing. Well, Stratke tries to get ready in a hurry. The Zephyrs play at Mile High Stadium, and they've got the touchdown on the board here in the 5th inning. Let's pause here for station identification. You're listening and watching to the '89 Omaha Royals. Again, that rope that over Dunbar's head off the bat of Donnie Scott goes for a double. And scored Canale. The 12th batter of the inning is Joe Xavier. Xavier fouls it off. They've got to stay with Olwine for a bit longer. Olwine has managed to get 2 outs. But he has faced 7 batters, and the Zephyrs now lead 7-3 in the top of the 5th. The 0-1 pitch. That's outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Zephyrs had a big inning this year against Omaha back in the 2nd game of the season. At the 3rd game of the season, a game that Matt Crouch pitched. They had 14 batters come to the plate in 1 inning. There's a strike. It was the 4th inning on the 7th of April. They ended up scoring 10 runs on 8 hits in the inning. They have scored 7, and they have 2 more in scoring position. The 1-2 pitch outside. 2-2. On a recent road trip, the Royals faced an 8-run inning against Columbus in a game that they won 13-11. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That's low. Olwine thought that he had a strikeout earlier on Mitchell. Thought that one was pretty good. It goes to 3-2 now, and he's a pitch away from loading them up for Billy Bates. The elusive 3rd out is somewhere out there to be found. That's on the outside corner, strike 3 call. Xavier was on his way to first base, and Olwine gets the final out of the inning. 12 batters come to the plate in the inning, and 7 of them score on 6 singles and 2 doubles. 8 hits total in the inning, 2 left. Through 4.5, our score now, Denver 7 and the Royals 3.
Better.
Some exuberant fans at Rosenblatt Stadium. They haven't lost the excitement, even though a 7-run top of the 5th. We're going to the bottom half of the inning now. 7-3 Zephyrs. If this game was being played at Mile High, you might think that the Broncos just came up with an 80-yard drive. Elway on the 1-yard sneak, but no, it's the Zephyrs. 7 runs in the top of the 5th. Our KKER producer tonight is Doug Behrens. Skip Kruger is our stage manager upstairs. And Doug tells us that officially we were at a 30-minute top half of the inning. The Royals had a 52-minute 8th inning in a game at Columbus. So our Cox Cable crew tends to bring out the best in length when they come on out here. We remember the last one. We were delayed by rain when they were out here back in June. Ended up going a good 3.5 hours that night. Mesh, Harris, and Castaneda to start things off in the bottom half of the 5th inning. The Royals now trailing by 4. The Royals jabbed away for single runs in the 1st, 3rd, and 4th, and the Zephyrs came up with the haymaker in the top of the 5th. The pitch on the way to Mike Mesh. In for a strike, 0-1 the count. Mesh was at the plate on an ill-fated double steal attempt. Close out the 4th inning. There's a shot down the right field line, and here come the Royals in the bottom half of the inning. Mesh is on his way for 2. Carrillo's throw comes into the cutoff man base, and here come the Royals in the bottom of the 5th. Oh yeah, Royals and the Zephyrs in a pennant race, trailing by 4. They're just going to give up. Mesh starts things on with a double. On our simulcast, we'll look at it again. Down the right field line. Mesh easily has second base. That brings up Kelly Paris. Paris reached in the 3rd inning on catcher's interference. That does not qualify as a time at bat. And Paris tries to bunt 3rd base way, foul, strike 1. Sometimes catchers, they get a little too anxious. They have their glove a little too close to the plate. And a lot of times it's on a batter who has a late swing. I saw a guy reach on catcher's interference 3 times in 2 games. Just happened to be the right combination where he had a late swing. The catcher was up close. It just kept happening. Veras swings and misses on a slider, and it's 0-2. Randy Veras is out there with a new lease on life. He's bobbing and weaving. Hung in there, and then the bats came alive for the Zephyrs in the top half of the 5th. Mesh is at second base, nobody out. 7-3 Denver. Time is called. Harris backs out. Check on Mesh and the 0-2 pitch. Fastball inside. That's what you call a setup pitch. That moves him off of the plate. It's the age-old pitching pattern. You set him up 0-2 like that. Chances are it'll be a breaking ball away on 1-2 strikes. Mitchell sets up low. Well, he drilled with another fastball. Missed on it, 2-2. Two and two the count. Mesh away to his lead. The pitch. Paris drills it into left field for a base hit. Mesh will have to stop at third base. He had to make sure that got by the infield before he could advance. And with no outs, there's no reason to take any chances. Now they're moving around in the Denver bullpen. Now, one thing you have to remember, Paris had a long time to sit in the dugout. Now, on a warm night like tonight, you figure you're not going to get cold, but it's a long time to just sit. And they're stirring, and that's what the Royals are hoping. They can get into that Zephyr bullpen. Nick Castaneda is the batter. Got a bases-loaded walk in the third inning. First and third, nobody out. Six hits now for the Royals. The pitch, in for a strike. 0-1 to Nick Castaneda. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Most runs in an inning for the Zephyrs was that equal to 7th game. 1989 at Mile High Stadium. They scored 10 runs in the 4th inning. They also had 8 hits in that inning. That is their high for the season. Activity in the Zephyr bullpen. The right-hander down there. There goes Paris, and Castaneda fouls it on the third base side, and the count is 1-2. I believe that is Bill Dawley down there in the bullpen. He's not on the roster. Dawley was just activated for tonight's game for the Zephyrs. We never did get a number on him, but it looks like Dawley. (7-3) Denver if you're just joining us. Bottom of the 5th inning. There's a throw to first, sending Paris back to the bag. So Sal Runde has already shown he's not going to play things conservatively in a big ball game, trailing by 4 runs. He had Paris going earlier, and Castaneda fouled it off. Castaneda does not run well. He's always a liability in terms of hitting into double plays. So they were sending Paris possibly to stay out of one. He's not going. Castaneda takes strike 3 call. Curveball caught him there. Once again, the Royals get men on base. Then comes the big K. 6 strikeouts for Randy Barris. Barris gets into trouble, and then he seems to find his way out of it without too much damage. Here is Tommy Dunbar. Dunbar came up with the bases loaded in the 3rd inning and hit a bullet at Donnie Scott to close out the inning. Curve for a strike. 0-1 to Dunbar. Kelly Paris at first. Dunbar at the plate. Runner at third is Mike Mesh. There goes Paris. The pitch is swung on and missed. Now swung on and fouled. Popped out of Mitchell's glove, 0-2. In the Denver 5th inning, they got the first 4 on. Then there was a ground out. Got 2 more on, then another ground out. And then 3 more on before Xavier was called out on strikes. Close out the inning. And 2 on Dunbar. The pitch. Liner left center field. Going over his Vaughn. He can't handle it. It's off of his glove and it goes to the wall. the score. Harris to third, Dunbar to second, and it's 7-4. For a moment, it looked like he had a play on it, and I'm not sure if it went off of his glove or not. It'll be a double for Tommy Dunbar, and he picks up an RBI. 2 runners in scoring position, and the batter is Tom Dodd. And here comes Dave McAmer now out of the Zephyr dugout. We'll look at it again on our simulcast, Cox Channel 7. And we'll see exactly where that went. I thought he had a play on it. And the replay, well, we went back a pitch too far. Maybe we'll find it. McAmer calls a meeting at the mound. And he is going to the bullpen, so we have a break in the action. With 1 out in the bottom half of the 5th inning, our score now is Denver 7 and Omaha 4. The meeting at the mound continues, and I believe this is Bill Dawley who's coming in. Here we look at it on the replay now, and there you see Vaughn going back on it. Now it just went over his glove, then he slipped up against the wall. Mesh came in to score the run. Harris from first base had to wait. He could only go halfway towards second base. He had to make sure that the ball was not going to be caught by Vaughn in left field. So he ends up at third. Dunbar at second with the double. And that is Bill Dawley now pitching. Dawley was just picked up by the Zephyrs. He was signed as a free agent. They were waiting for him to clear waivers. He was pitching with Maine last year and Philadelphia last year. He was up with Indianapolis in this league in 1980. For the most part, he was with the Houston Astros from 83 through 85 and was an 11-game winner with a 1.83 ERA for Houston through 60 games in 1984. So Dawley has been picked up to try to shore up the Zephyr bullpen. It's hard to say, but the Zephyr fans believe that Denver would have won the division last year if they only had a bullpen to go along with their hitting. And the bullpen has been suspect all year for the Zephyrs this year. And Bill Dawley just picked up, will make his first appearance of the season. And he'll face Tom Dodd with runners at second and third with 1 out. Second and third, 1 out. Bottom half of the 5th inning, Tom Dodd has doubled and struck out. We're talking about a 52-minute inning that we had earlier. What are we coming on now, 45? Only 1 out in the bottom half of the inning. You guys on hourly? The pitch to Dodd is outside, ball 1. So Bill Dawley makes his first Zephyr appearance. He was with Nashville in '78, began his career in the Reds organization. Right-hander, 31 years old. Dawley comes by way of third base, and he gets a strike to even the count to Dodd at 1-1. Harris worked 4 1/3 innings, so neither starter went 5. Dawley ready in the 1-1 pitch. That's in the dirt. Mitchell can't find it. Now picks it up. 2-1. For Veras, 7 hits, 4 runs and counting, 2 belong to him. He can't win. The pitch to Dodd is blasted. Deep left field. Vaughn at the wall. It is gone. We are tied at 7. Rosenblatt. Tom Dodd's 11th home run of the season. Clears the bases, and we've got a brand new game, a 7-7 tie. Dawley delivers to Jackson. There you see it again. He pounded it. And there it bounces beyond the fence, over the batting cage. 7-7, bottom of the 5th. The pitch to Jackson. In for a strike, 1-1. So Veras will be charged with 6 runs, which unofficially 5 are earned. The next one inside, 1-2. For those of you who have entered our Home Run Bakers contest, we have a winner. We'll pull his name out in a second. Here's the pitch to Jackson. That's fouled. William Herbert of Council Bluffs, Iowa, is our latest winner in the Home Run Bakers contest. He'll receive a $10 gift certificate, compliments of Bakers. Here's the 1-2 now. Jackson takes low, no swing, says the base umpire O'Connor. If you're with us for the first time on Cox 7 and you don't know about the Home Run Bakers contest, we'll tell you how you can enter in a second. Give you a second to grab a sheet of paper and a pencil or pen. Here's the 2-2. Jackson goes to deep right field with it. Carrillo on the dead run, makes the running catch. That's the second out of the inning. And the batter is Jeff Schultz. Bakers awards a $10 gift certificate on every Omaha Royal homer. And it's a $100 certificate if it happens to be a grand slam. We draw a name after every homer. To register, send your name, address, and telephone number on a postcard or letter and send it to the Home Run Bakers contest, care of the Omaha Royals. And the address in a second. Here's the pitch to Schultz, in for a strike. 0-1 the count. The address, P.O. Box 3665. And the zip code is 68103. Dawley's 0-1 pitch. In for strike 2, and it's 0-2. Whenever you saw Dawley on the ESPN highlights, he was always Bill Hello Dawley. Dodd greeted him. Hello, welcome back to the American Association. Schultz takes high, 1-2 the count. Got a ways to go in this one. Tied at 5, or tied in the 5th at 7. Schultz takes outside, and the count is now 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. So big innings for both teams, and they end the same way on a called 3rd strike. The Royals get off the ground with 4 runs on 4 hits. 3 of them were extra base hits. None left. At the end of 5, Denver 7, Omaha 7. The Royals 7 runs, a mere 8 hits, and no errors. The 0-1 pitch. Dodd bumps it off the plate. Stapleton with a full turn throws to Canale covering. The sacrifice, 1-3. Winning run at second base. Chuck Jackson is the batter. Jackson tonight, 0 for 6. Will they pitch to Jackson? Left-handed hitter Jeff Schultz is on deck. So they will take the bat out of Jackson's hand. He will be intentionally walked. Matias Carrillo was the hero last night in the second game of the doubleheader for the Zephyrs with a home run to win it. He has dropped 2 fly balls trying to one-hand them in right field. On Monday, during the 5 o'clock news on Channel 6, Dave Weber has his top 5 and bottom 5. After this, we better make the top 5. Somebody ought to nominate us all. Okay, first and second, 1 out. Schultz the batter, facing the left-hander Stapleton. Denver pitchers, Veras, Dolly, Aldrich, Stoddard, Waddell, Stapleton. They've used 6. Omaha, Lasky, Olwine, Stratke, Lucan, Encarnacion. The runner at second base is Tommy Dunbar, representing the winning run. Here's the pitch to Schultz. Straight foul to the left, strike 1. Schultz has walked in the 3rd, struck out in the 4th and 5th, walked in the 7th, singled in the 10th, doubled in the 12th. Stapleton comes set. Delivers the 0-1 pitch. Bounced up the middle. That's going through to center field. The waving Dunbar around. Here comes the throw to the plate. Royals win. Royals win. Jeff Schultz with a single up the middle off of Dave Stapleton. And the Royals win a marathon, 9-8. Not only do the Royals win it, but they severely weaken the Zephyrs as they have to head out to Indianapolis to play 2 tomorrow, using up just about every pitcher they had. Certainly Jeff Schultz has to be happy. There can't be many Royals happier than Kevin Burrell, too. It was his error in the 9th inning that tied things up, and Matias Carrillo's error in the 14th inning that helps the Royals out and gives them the 9-8 victory. Here's what we've got coming up. For those of you on the radio side, stay with us. We're going to run down the scores one more time, and we will, a happy crew here, wrap things up, give you the totals, and take care of all of that on our post-game show. That's coming up next. For those of you on the TV side, there you see the totals right there. The Royals won it by a score of 9-8. It took, well, let's check the watch now, about 5.5 hours for the Royals to come away with the victory, but they do it, and they end up winning 2 out of 3. On top of that, they also gain a game on the Zephyrs. They're 1.5 out, and don't forget, these teams have 6 more games remaining, and then after they're done with each other in the middle of August, there'll be 3 more weeks to go in the season before a winner is decided in the American Association's Western Division. Words are failing us right now to describe what has been just a fantastic evening of baseball between the Royals and Zephyrs. Thrills, chills, great plays, great hits, clutch hits, great fielding, poor fielding, all of it thrown into just a 5.5 hours that went just like that. The totals once again for Omaha to win it: 8 runs, 13 hits, 1 error. They end up straining 12. Denver, 8 runs, 14 hits, 5 errors, and they end up straining 9. The winning pitcher, Luis Encarnacion, is 1-3. The loser is Dave Stapleton. Stapleton goes to 2-5. 5.5 hours to play it, and the Royals and the Zephyrs will finally call it a morning from Rosenblatt Stadium. We'd like to thank our Cox Cable crew for coming on out and hanging in there. It was worth it as the Royals come away with the 5-4-14, or the 9-8, 14-inning victory. Until next time, this is Frank Atkinson thanking you for joining us on Cox Cable 7. Until another time from Rosenblatt. See you later.
Good show, wasn't
That
it?
was, yeah. When was that show?
It was like 58.
Yeah.
It's a rerun, but it's a pretty good show. We're off tomorrow. Saturday night we're off. Sunday night we're off because, of course, of the Olympics. And then we're back on Monday. We'll be back with that particular show there. And coming up here in this program tonight, Julian Lennon will be here in a minute. And also Dick Enberg from NBC Sports. You know, a couple of weeks ago, we handed out questionnaires asking audience members about any little chore or errand that they had that perhaps I could help out with. And I was impressed with a woman by the name of Joan Kwiatkowski's request for advice in choosing a wedding dress. So it was, we thought, a pretty romantic notion, and she seemed like a very nice person, and most importantly, it was only about a 10-minute drive from my house. So that's what we did. We helped Joan pick out her wedding dress. Take a look here. Joan Kwiatkowski. Gonna pick out her wedding. Hi, Joan. Nice to see you. How are you? Well, you look very nice today. You're all dressed up.
We're close, yeah.
You're getting married when?
January 13th.
I was married once, years and years ago, by a justice of the peace in his garage. Yeah, and I was really drunk.
Oh.
Well, you have nice legs. You're going to look great in a little kind of a thing. How much money you want to spend on this?
Oh, I'm looking at about $1,000, $1,100.
$1,000 for a wedding gown?
That's cheap.
You know, I'm 42. I don't think totally I've spent $1,000 on clothing. Have you liked living next to Vinny's, or has it just been a nightmare?
No, it's convenient.
We should wave goodbye to the folks at Vinny's. Bye-bye. Thank you very much. Got to get out of this neighborhood, Joan. What's this guy's name? Teddy? You're getting married to?
Steve.
Good-looking guy?
Yeah, I think so.
We get a picture of him here?
Yeah.
Big dough?
I know.
I didn't even see this place. Oh, here it is.
It's right here.
Okay. Let's go in there. Okay. Oh, it's going to be the longest day of our lives. Joan Kwiatkowski. Joan's getting married in January. We want a dress. We want something really nice. Money's no object. Nothing cheap like you have in the window there. Where's Mr. Fontana? Look at Mr. Fontana. Hi, how are you? Nice to see you.
Would you like Paula to help you?
Yes, Paula's helping us. In fact, we were hoping we wouldn't even have to talk to you. But you just walked right up. I know. Okay, all right. Okay. I'm going to watch. You decide which of these you're going to try on.
That one I don't care for at all.
Just get it. She hates it. Get it out of here. It's making her sick. Get it out of here. Where is Frank? Come here, Frank. Come here. Periodically, I want to see you do this. And yeah, and then somebody will race in with a gown. Okay. All right, but not right now. Just get out. Now, do we leave now?
Right. Just until I get dressed.
Okay. All right. Move it along.
Hello? Hello?
Now. Well, that's great. That's beautiful. What do you think of this?
I think you need a little more.
A little more in terms of what?
Cleavage.
Is there a restaurant around here we can get lunch? Would you mind if we have it sent over so we can eat? We don't want to... Okay. Okay, what kind of place is it?
Italian.
Oh, Italian. All right, Joan. Now, this is dress number 2.
Number 2.
How do you feel about this one?
Well, I'm not too fond of this, I don't think.
So dress number 2 is not as close as dress number 1?
No, number 1 was closer.
Number 1 was closer. All right, here's the menu, by the way.
Oh.
What do you think?
Maybe the carbonara.
Okay, all right, so the bride-to-be is having the spaghetti carbonara. Who wants linguine with clams? All right, there's 1. I'll have that. Anybody else? 2, 3, 4. Man, it looks beautiful. All right, 3 chef salads. 4 chef salads. Rigatoni alla vodka. If you need any help, let me know. Oh, geez. Man. Oh. Okay, so this would be dress number 3. Joan? Oh, man. What do you think of this one?
I think I like this one the best.
Do you have like a close second you want to look at?
No, I don't think so. I think this is it.
Do you like this one? Do you like this dress on her? Look at this guy down there. The word's out about the free lunch. This guy has come in just for the free lunch.
16.
No, it's closer to 16, isn't it? It should be like 16 and a half.
Well, if I go further down, it would
yeah,
be.
go down as far as you need to.
Okay. We have her measurements, and then we got her information and where she lives and all that.
Now, you just send the bill to NBC. You got a band?
We're having a DJ, actually.
A DJ? Mm-hmm. I can get you a band, 4 pieces.
What?
Yeah, for free.
For free?
Yeah. You know where there's a driving range around here?
Yeah, David, there's one right here on Weaver Street.
Joan, thank you very much. Frank, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank
I
you
hope
for
you
the
enjoyed
day.
the dress.
Oh, I love it. Thank
Okay.
You want to go for a steam or anything? Or?
Steam?
Yeah.
Frank, you want to get a steam? Sure.
Great.
Let's go.
Okay. One more shot.
Let's go, Joan.
Oh.
Okay, we'll do a commercial. We'll be right back with Julian Lennon.